All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, most consequential breakups in intellectual history. We're diving into the intense friendship and, well, the epic falling out between two giants, Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung. Their clash didn't just end a partnership, it literally created two different roads for understanding the human mind, paths we're still walking down today. And to really get into this, we're going to ground ourselves in the work of these titans. This book right here, Jung's Man and His Symbols, is the perfect place to start. It was basically his big attempt to take his huge, sometimes really complex ideas and make them accessible to everybody. And it really sets the stage for what we're about to explore. So, yeah, this is the big question, isn't it? You've got Freud, the established king of psychoanalysis, and then you have Jung, his hand-picked crown prince, the guy who was supposed to carry the torch. I mean, their partnership seemed absolutely unstoppable. So what on earth could have happened to drive them apart? Okay, let's get right into it. A fateful friendship. Because you have to understand, before the big fight, these two were incredibly close. This was a deep, powerful connection, a real meeting of minds that honestly promised to change the world.
Wow, and this timeline, it just shows you how fast and intense this all was. It kicks off in 1906, they're writing back and forth, total mutual admiration. Then they meet for the first time in 1907, and get this, they talk for 13 hours straight. Can you imagine? By 1909, they're taking their show on the road to America. But then, bam, just 4 years later, it's completely over. Done. So what was the breaking point? Well, the first major crack in the foundation was about the foundation itself, the unconscious mind. They both agreed it was there, that it was real, but what it actually was, well, that's where the trouble started. See, for Freud, the unconscious was all about you. Think of it like a private, locked basement inside your own head. It's where you shove everything you don't want to deal with, your repressed memories, your secret desires, all that painful stuff. It's your personal junk drawer shaped only by your life. But Jung, well, Jung thought Freud wasn't thinking nearly big enough. He said, okay, we all have our personal basement, sure, but underneath all of our houses is a vast, ancient library that connects us all. He called this the collective unconscious. And this library is filled with the stories of all humanity, universal symbols, ancestral memories, what he famously called archetypes. So let's just boil it down to its simplest form. Freud, the unconscious is about me. Jung, the unconscious is about we. It connects you to every human who has ever lived. Now, this isn't some small academic squabble. This is a fundamentally different map of the human soul.
And that brings us to the next big battleground, the whole idea of libido. For Freud, this was the absolute engine of everything. But for Jung, he was using the term way, way too narrowly.
When Freud said libido, he meant one thing, and pretty much one thing only: sexual energy. He saw this raw, instinctual drive as the power source behind almost everything we do: our ambitions, our relationships, our art. It was the biological engine of the mind.
Jung looked at that and just said, no way, it's so much more than that. For him, libido wasn't just sexual energy, it was a general life force. It's the psychic energy that makes you want to create art or seek spiritual meaning or just learn something new. It's the whole get up and go that makes us feel alive. And right here, you can feel that core tension. Is the main thing that drives us a very specific sexual instinct, like Freud said, or is it this broader, all-purpose life energy like Jung believed? There was just no way to bring those two views together. All right, on to the third major disagreement, the world of dreams. Now, both of them believed dreams were, as they said, the royal road to the unconscious, but they had completely different ideas about what you'd find at the end of that road. In Freud's view, dreams are all about the past. They're like a psychic safety valve. Your unconscious takes all those forbidden wishes you've shoved down deep, dresses them up in a weird symbolic costume, and lets them out to play while you're sleeping. The whole goal is to look backward and decode the disguise. Jung was on a totally different wavelength. He didn't think dreams were just about the past. He thought they were messages about the future. For Jung, a dream is a form of guidance. It's a note from your deeper self saying, hey, you're a little out of balance, or here's a hint for the path ahead. It's a roadmap to becoming a more whole person. This table just lays it all out so clearly. Let's look at the primary function. For Freud, it's wish fulfillment, letting off steam. For Jung, it's compensation, balancing you out. Symbolism? Freud says it's a personal code, usually about sex. Jung says it's often a universal archetype. And the goal of analysis? Freud wants to dig up past conflicts. Jung wants to help you understand the message for your future. Just completely different worlds.
So, after all that, who was right? Who won the fight? That's probably the wrong question to ask. The real truth is, their epic split actually gave us two incredibly powerful and really complementary ways of understanding ourselves. Think of it like this. Freud gave us a detailed street map of our own personal history. It helps us see how our childhood, our unique experiences, our personal baggage, how all of that shaped the person we are right now. But Jung gave us a globe. He gave us a map to connect with the entire human story, to see our place in something so much bigger. And you know what? We really need both maps. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. When you look inside yourself, which map feels more like home? Do you see Freud's private basement filled with your own unique secrets? Or do you feel a pull toward Jung's vast, ancient library, a place that connects you to all of humanity? Which of these maps resonates more with you?